Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're gonna be busting 15 Minecraft myths. So let's get right onto it. Okay, so first myth is that Ender Pearls work through nether portals. Let's see if that's true. So first we have to build a nether portal.
The nether.
Yep, obsidian, flint and steel.
Flint and steel.
And then our ender pearl.
Ender pearl.
Is what we need. Yep. Alright, so we build our portal. Bam bam. Oh, I built that wrong. Okay, so close. Alright. Flint and steel.
Flint and steel. The nether.
Okay. Now, these myths are for Pocket Edition. These might work in other editions of Minecraft, but for Pocket Edition, okay? Hold on. This does not work for Pocket Edition. That is myth busted. So, second myth is that you can only open a trial vault once. Alright. Now we find out. Can you only open a trial vault once? Alright. There, emeralds, ominous potion, axe. Alright, trying to open it. And it doesn't open. You could only open it once. So that right there is myth confirmed. Next myth is that boats are now leashable. Let's test this. So let's get our boat, our lead, and our fence so we could attach it. Okay, there's our 3 stuff. Alright, let's spawn the boat first. There's the boat. Alright, I'm gonna put the fence right here. Attach the lead. Attach the lead. And this is myth confirmed. Another myth confirmed. So now your boat, it's stuck to the fence, so you can't move it that much. That's myth confirmed. Next myth is that the snow golems can now survive in the nether.
The nether.
Using fire resistance potions. So let's see. Alright, so last thing we get is a snow block. You have to be so fast. Splash. Okay. See, he's actually doing it. Alright. Let me leash him. Let's put him in the lava. Have you ever seen a snow golem in the lava? Well, come here, snow golem in the nether.
The nether.
Come here. Okay. Come here. This is also another myth confirmed. Ooh, these myths are turning out to be confirmed. So, okay, so next myth is if you can camel clutch. So let's try it. If we go all the way up here, all the way, alright, and then the camel's right under me, right there. Can I clutch? You definitely can, but you just gotta be accurate. See if I could get it on this one. I think I got it right there. I think I got it. So yes, myth confirmed. That's another myth confirmed. Alright. This is myth confirmed. On to the next one. Oh. Okay, so next myth is that if you place a mob head on a note block, it plays that mob's sound. So here we have all these mobs except for this one. I wonder what this one will do. Alright, so first we do the piglin. It actually works. That's actually really cool. Oh my god. Alright, dragon head. It does the Ender Dragon sound. Whoa. Alright. Creeper. It's very faint, but you could hear it. It's like the tss, tss. Alright. Now the zombie. Yeah.
Chicken jockey.
Whoa! You heard that? It's a chicken jockey. That's crazy. Well, that's myth confirmed. That's another myth confirmed. There's been so many myth confirmed this video. Alright, now on to the next myth. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next myth is that you can put a saddle on a sniffer. So here I have the sniffer spawn egg and a saddle. So now let's see. So here's a sniffer. Alright, you can see. Alright. Can I saddle him? Nope, I cannot. I could do it with the camel, right? Yep, I could put a saddle on the camel. Can I put it on him? Nope. He is not rideable, ladies and gentlemen. That is myth busted. Finally, a myth that's busted. Okay, so next myth is that sniffers cannot die to fall damage. Alright, let's see if this is busted or confirmed. Alright, let me just fly right here. Let's see. Alright, there's a sniffer. Let me break him down. This is for science. That is myth busted. Let's try it one more time just in case. One more time. Just like it was a coincidence. One more time. Alright. That is myth busted. They definitely. Alright, so next myth is that camels have like a secret superpower where they could dash. It's not like a superpower. They were built with it. So you could like when you ride them. He's laying down next to me. Wow. Alright, so technically you could just dash on them if you hold the jump button. So let's test that. Alright, let's ride him. Alright, we're moving. Let's hold the jump button. Oh, it's like a little mini game. If you like get in the perfect timing in the yellow, then he goes farther. Creeper. See, I could jump across this. See? That's so cool. Alright. Camels might become my new favorite animal. This is misconfirmed. The next myth is that sniffer eggs are the strongest eggs in Minecraft. So let's test that. Alright. Okay. And I need some water and some anvils because that's what we're going to test it with. Anvils. Alright. So now that we have that, okay. So the turtle egg right here, sniffer egg right there. Okay. So, the first test is anvils. Will it survive an anvil? Well, the frog eggs didn't. Will the turtle egg survive an anvil? Yes, it destroyed it. Now the sniffer egg? It did. It held it on top of it and it's not cracking or breaking. Wow. Alright. So now we all know that you could break a turtle egg by jumping on it. You jump on it, broken. Alright. Now, can you break a sniffer egg by jumping on it? No. Sniffer eggs are actually really strong. That is myth confirmed. So that is myth confirmed, you guys. Okay. Next myth is that hanging signs have less space than regular signs. So, let's get our hanging sign. Let's get our signs. So, here's a regular sign. And then here's a hanging sign. Alright, so let me build our little thingy for our hanging sign. Okay, perfect. I'll place the hanging sign right here. Alright, so let's count. Well, not count. I'm just gonna repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Alright, so that's 1. Okay, so 4 times 10, that's 40 letters. Okay? 40 letters. Now a sign. Okay. So yeah, you could just tell that they hold way more. The length is way longer. So it's still 4 as the width, but the length is way longer. So once again, that's a myth confirmed. Okay, next myth is that you could write on both sides of a sign. So let's just test this one real quick. Alright, so here's our sign. So we're just gonna put SG, just that, and then on the back we're gonna put SG, and then it's on both sides. Wow. Well, that's another myth confirmed. So, time for the next myth. Next myth is that you can milk a goat like a cow. So, here we go. Let's spawn our goat. Wait, there's a milk button? You can actually milk the goat. And it's normal milk, not goat's milk, thank God. I don't know if you guys have ever tried goat's milk, but it's actually it has like this weird taste. So, that is myth confirmed. Okay. Next myth is, can you ride a camel in water? Okay, perfect. Saddle, ride. Alright. Let me use the new charge ability that I found out. Let's see. So, can you ride a camel in water? You cannot. Myth busted. You cannot ride a camel in water. Next myth is that you can now dye horse armor. Okay, great. So now, put horse armor on it. Can I dye it though? Let me see. I'm trying to dye it. This is myth busted. You cannot dye horse armor. Or at least in Pocket Edition. This is myth busted. So next myth is that camels can survive over 50 blocks of fall damage. So right here we have 52 blocks. Let's see if it survives. Alright, place the camel. Break them down. Okay. It died, but that is a baby camel. Let's try a normal camel. Yeah. Alright. So now we could, okay. Maybe let's do it right below 50. So right here. Place. No. Break. Maybe? Okay. That is myth busted. Camels cannot survive over 50. Next and final myth is that if you put a name tag with the name Jeb _ on a sheep, it becomes rainbow. Alright? Let's see. You have a sheep. Name it. What is a wolf doing? Well, this is... Let's spawn another sheep. Let's spawn sheep. Sheep. Alright. This is not true in Pocket Edition. I know that in Java Edition or in Bedrock Edition, I know it works. But in Pocket Edition, it does not work. So that is myth busted. This is myth busted. So anyways, that's it for today. That's the whole video. We did 15 myths. And then maybe I'll do a part 2 busting 15 more myths. So in total it was 30. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, remember to watch my Infinity Haul video.